Preservatives, carotenoid, dry active warm water. Next, stir in salt, flour, and porridge crust. Remove the bread from. All right, y'all. When it comes to baking, I don't play around with the measurements. I'm gonna try to be as precise as possible, and I'm going to use white flour. I tried to substitute white flour with oat flour or wheat flour, but I don't know how it's gonna turn out if I make the substitutions, and I don't wanna mess this up. Wheat flour is very dense, and I'm still trying to figure out how to use it. So I don't wanna mess around and like jack this recipe all the way up. She has a temperature of what your stuff should be at, so I'm literally gonna use a thermometer to measure this. I'm not playing. This bread better come out good. It look good, so let's give it a shot. Okay, that is at 110 degrees. Oh, that says 2.5 teaspoons. I'm already about to jack this up. Girl, I was about to add 2 tablespoons to that. Okay.
I help.
Why did that clump up like that? It's kind of freaking me out.
I help.
And 1/4 of a teaspoon. I don't have 1/4 of a teaspoon. Jojo, this is not a game. This is serious.
Okay.
2 tablespoons of honey. I'm gonna spray this with some oil so the honey doesn't stick on there. I know that wasn't part of the instructions, but you know, I gotta do stuff my own way sometimes. 1. You see how it just slicks right off? Last time I tried to make cinnamon rolls, I don't think they worked out. I mean, they were good, but I don't think it was the best because I think my yeast had died. I did have it for a while because I don't really bake. So I'm supposed to wait until this foams up. I'm not gonna lie, this yeast smells really strong. Huh? Oh, you want a sandwich? Okay. It has to be a ham sandwich. It can't be a cookie butter sandwich. Okay, y'all, so I think this is about as foamy as this yeast gonna get. Maybe I should have made the water a little bit warmer. It's still warm at the bottom, so it don't look as frothy as hers did, but I guess this is good enough. Well, that's 1, 2, EVOO. 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I don't know how I'm supposed to get. I'm like literally pouring it in my palm to make the 1.5 teaspoons. Girl, I love me some yeasted rolls, especially my favorite is from Texas Roadhouse. I can eat like the whole batch in one setting. So if it's given Texas Roadhouse, I might be in trouble. This looks so soft. I think I might need some more flour. I only added 3 cups, but it looks really wet. Hers is not giving wet. Alexa, set timer for 5 minutes. This is the part that I get scared of because I don't want to overdo it when you overknead it. But I'm going to become a pro baker. Like, woo, this dough is wet. Did I add too much water? I don't know, y'all. So the dough is like super like wet and sticky. And it's kind of hard to knead, and I've already added like a 1/2 more cup of flour to it, and I don't want to keep adding flour because it's gonna make the dough really dense, and I don't want that. I want it fluffy. Somebody said the same thing, that their dough was super wet, and then the creator said that she's gonna tag her in a video. A lot of people were like, me too, me too. So I'm gonna let it rest for 30 minutes. Mine look nothing like hers. You see how her dough is firm? And I'm actually gonna put this in the oven. I'm not gonna turn on the oven. I do have a proof setting on my oven, but I'm not gonna use that. All right, y'all. I don't know. I just asked the creator on her page. I explained to her the situation, so maybe she'll respond back. But I'm just gonna add more flour. It is what it is. I don't know. Hopefully it still turns out good. Ooh, it's actually pretty like.
Where's the Kit Kat? Where has the Kit Kat?
What Kit Kat?
Up there, in your closet.
You know where everything is, huh?
Now where have you been?
This dough is for mommy only
Oh,
to handle.
I want to help.
I know you want to help. Okay, so I'm just gonna speak life on this dough. I'm gonna say this is gonna be the bread, the bread of life. I'm gonna say this is gonna be the best bread that I've ever made in my life. Well, it is because this is the first time I'm making bread, but whew, my arm hurts. Okay, I have a loaf pan right here, so I'm just gonna spray it. Okay, so you're actually supposed to let it rise for another 30 minutes. Y'all, I had to pray over the dough and speak life into it because I'm not sure what I did wrong because it doesn't look like what it was given in the video. I'm gonna just cover her up. I spoke life into her, and you know what's so crazy? As I was speaking life into this dough, because this dough is alive, okay, and everything must bow to the word of Christ. So as I was speaking life into the dough, why the Bible verse of the day came up on my phone. I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, okay, I'll see you guys. So we'll see. So a fond memory of mine was when I was a little kid, my mom would always buy French bread at Safeway. My greedy little self, I would rip the end off the bread and then stuff my hand inside the French bread and just gather a whole bunch of it, form it into like a ball and put it in the microwave and eat it just like that. It was so freaking good. I don't know if anybody ever knew it was me doing that, but I would do that. And then sometimes I would add peanut butter on it and it was so delicious. Like, I love bread, you guys. And the lady said to remove the bread from the pan so it doesn't get soggy. I don't know, y'all, that looked pretty good. That looked pretty good. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So this is how the bread looks like. I mean, honestly, it looks perfect. I saw another lady on TikTok make a bread recipe and her dough was wet like mine. That made me feel better. Hopefully it's not dense from adding all that extra flour, because I don't know how much extra flour I ended up having to add. Maybe like half a cup, but it should be fine. I have here a honey and butter mixture that I added some cinnamon to. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more cinnamon. Look at my bread, Jojo, look.
Let me do.
I'm scared. If this is not good, then I caught it on camera that it wasn't good. Oh my gosh, you guys, I made bread. Wow, and it smells like bread too. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I made bread. Look at it. Okay, it's still piping hot, so I'm gonna give it a try. It looks so freaking soft. It tastes like the French bread. It tastes good. That's crazy. I will say, for this being my first time, I'm actually pretty impressed. The texture is slightly gummy, so I think I might have overmixed it, but it tastes like French bread from the store. What I'm gonna be doing for lunch and for dinner is dipping this bread in this soup, okay?
Red soup.
You wanna taste it? Taste the bread.
The red look good.
It look good. Is it good?
Good.
It's good?
Yeah. Very, very good.
Okay, next time, I'm already seeing improvements I can make. I would definitely make this again.
Go get the paste.
Next time I'm going to add only 1.5 cups of water because that's what I've seen the other recipe do. And then I'm going to try not to overmix it. And then I would add a touch more salt and a little bit more honey. But other than that, this is really good. I'm not going to lie.
Me too.
I'm tired, okay? I want to go to bed. I'm not going to go to sleep. The bread was delicious. My kids liked it. I liked it. It reminds me of French bread. It's so soft, so squishy. But right now, I'm going to tackle my daughter's room because it's a mess in here. And she does not have any walking space. I feel like once her room is organized, she'll be more receptive to being in here more instead of in our room all the time. Yo. I don't feel like cleaning right now, but it's only 6 o'clock and I need to not be in the bed and scroll. This is the point where I would do scroll, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna get up and clean up. Okay, you get your toys from in our room. Go get your toys. And bless you.
I got more toys.
We keep on moving. We keep on moving along. We keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. We keep on moving.
Okay, that actually didn't take as long as I thought. I'm just trying to maintain this room after I did the whole decluttering and stuff. Trying not to make it into a whole big disaster over again. So that's it for today. I done cleaned up her room, made my ebook meal prep, baked a piece of bread. I feel like I did a lot. So that's how the room looks like. So not too bad. I will catch you guys tomorrow because my battery is dying once again. Good morning, everyone. It is now Sunday and I'm going to church this morning. I haven't been to church in a while. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 100% well. I am a little bit under the weather, but I don't feel bad. Like yesterday I still had the energy to cook and stuff. So usually if I'm like really sick, I would not be able to do anything. I would be in the bed all day, but I feel fine to go about my regular routine. So that's what I'm gonna do. But I will take some more emergency and some of that immune defense just to get my immune system up and running faster. So this is what I've been taking, this immune defense. I used to take this like every day at one point, but I stopped doing that. But I'm gonna do it today. So I take it for like purposes like this, and then this Target brand immune support. I want to swear I'm an herbalist. I'm always mixing stuff together. Fun fact, I actually used to be a pharmacy technician. So I actually used to work in the pharmacy. many moons ago and dispense medications and stuff. And now I'm into looking up natural remedies for the body and wellness and stuff like that. So that's kind of ironic that someone that used to work in the pharmacy industry is now looking at like natural remedies for wellness rather than medicine. But isn't that how that usually works? So that's my concoction, and I think I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee only because I need to get some stuff done today. I need to clean up the bathroom, the room. It looks like a disaster. Like, okay, it's not that bad, but it's just stuff everywhere on the floor, in my closet. You know how stuff gets, like, when you get ready throughout the week in the morning, stuff gets all over the counter. I like to keep the counter clear, and I want to do that before I record, just so I can have a clean space. And I feel like when my space is cluttered, my mind is cluttered as well. So I just want to organize my stuff. I need to put away my laundry, and then I gotta finalize my ebook. It's pretty much done. I just gotta reread it, and then I gotta figure out how to put it on my website, because I don't want to create a landing page for each freebie, because I feel like that's a lot. I just want to condense everything in one page, but then obviously I want to funnel signups for my website in order to get the freebie. So I've been trying to like boggle my mind and figure it out. Maybe I should just ask God, okay, God, please
show me how I should do this.
I swear to you, every time I ask him for help, within like a few days, I get the answer. It's kind of crazy. I'm gonna make a coffee to go. Oh, I guess I should show you guys my outfit. I don't, like, do you guys care? This is what I'm wearing. It's nothing too much. It's just something casual. My church is very much come as you are. Okay, they don't care about what you wear. I assume as long as you're not dressed like you going to the club, you know what I mean? Like, it's still church, but the pastor wear jeans, so you could wear whatever you want. You could dress up if you want, you could dress down. I almost thought about wearing Crocs today, but I'm just gonna put on some flats and keep it moving, and I'm about to make my coffee, and then we're gonna head on out. The other day I had got some raspberry tea leaf. I said this is good for, like, to support your cycle. It says for menstrual cramps and pregnancy support. I bought it because of that benefit, but I like this as a tea by itself. This is really good. So this is my little to-go cup coffee for church and stuff. I think I'm gonna do the Victor Allen Caramel Macchiato. This and the hazelnut are my favorite coffees. I used to get these from Big Lots when they were open, and they would have them on sale, like for a big box, okay? A huge box. It'll be like $20 or $30, and then sometimes they will have like a $10 off sale, and then they will give you like coupons and stuff. That was my store. I don't know why they took away Big Lots, because I was always in there, so maybe that's why. I don't know, but that was my favorite place to get my coffee from, because I would get it really cheap, and they would always have the Victor Allen brand. To me, that brand is top tier. I don't know, so I don't know what else is comparable. I be trying to find like other alternatives, and they don't taste as good to me as that one. I guess I could buy it online, but then when you was getting it for like way cheaper somewhere else, it's like, why do I want to spend the extra money? And then you guys see me buy the stevia and the raw. This is the type of sugar substitute I like to get, is the stevia. Now there is a lot of controversy about sugar substitutes, so I don't know, y'all. I'm just trying to live my life. Like, I'm trying to do the best I can with what I can, okay? So they say that stevia is, besides monk fruit, they say stevia is like one of the better alternatives rather than sucralose. What's the other one? Y'all know what I'm talking about, like the pink and the yellow packets or the blue packets. They say those are like lower level tier sugar substitutes, and then the monk fruit and the stevia is the higher level tiers. So, and then I was telling y'all about my coconut creamer. This is the coconut creamer that I absolutely love. I do think they changed the formula because I feel like it's not as rich. For one, it disappeared off from Aldi's for the longest time, for like years, okay? I could not find this for years. I was so upset about it. And then I promise you, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I wish they would bring this back. I was literally praying to God, why they brought this back? I was literally praying. I swear, God like hears every one of my thoughts and prayers. I'm telling you. And then they brought it back, and I was like, oh my gosh. But then when they first brought it back, it wasn't tasting the same. But I think now this batch kind of tastes like how it's supposed to taste. This is the full sugar, fat, whatever. It's like a regular creamer. I wish they had a sugar-free version of this, but they don't. But then again, I don't need to be drinking coffee every day anyways. So I mix this. I do half of like regular creamer and then like half sugar-free creamer. And then for the sugar-free, you can always find it in vanilla. So I put 2 packets in there. Sometimes I do 3. I do like my coffee like really sweet, and that's why I do all the sugar-free stuff, because okay, so that's my coffee. I'm gonna put on my shoes and head on out the door. Of course, I'm not gonna film my church because I don't I go to the early service, the first service, because I wake up early naturally anyways. You know, I like for that to be the first thing, and then, you know, come home and do everything else that I need to do. I don't know, y'all. I must be old school because I still like hot coffee. That's how I grew up, on hot coffee, drinking hot coffee as a kid. Yes, that's like Caribbean culture. Kids be drinking coffee. I've been drinking coffee for a long time. I don't know, it seems like nobody drinks hot coffee online, at least online, okay? We know online is not really reality. Everybody's like, it's an iced coffee. My Keurig, my husband actually got that for me for Christmas. It also does iced coffee as well. It's like a 2-for-1. So it does hot and it does iced. It goes up to 12 ounces, and then it has like a iced coffee function, which I barely use because I like hot coffee. Hey guys, so I am back from church. I'm whispering because my daughter's still asleep. I just want to pop in to share with you guys the sermon. Church was so good. It was very moving. They had the teenagers sing. They do that every once in a while, and it's always so captivating and amazing to see young adults praise the Lord and worship God. And they had just all this energy. They were dancing on the stage, and of course, you know, tears were flowing down. Like, I get really emotional when I see like, especially like kids, the kids choir, when they start singing. It's just really beautiful to see like young people worshiping God and stuff, because they could be, you know, doing other stuff, but they choose to worship the Lord. So the one thing I love about my church, I always feel like the pastor is speaking, well, not the pastor, God through the pastor is speaking directly to me. And I know God gets me together every day, but it's so strange to hear like what God has been saying to you come directly out of somebody else's mouth. Sometimes it's very like jaw dropping, like, oh my gosh. So this week I kind of felt like God has been convicting me with my screen time. Like I feel like a kid when I say this, because I do this with my son all the time. I tell him, you know, don't be on your tablet, don't be on your computer all day long. But then it's like, sometimes I feel like a hypocrite because I do the same thing. I'm always watching YouTube, always doing scrolling. Especially if I get into bed, I'm tired, I just be scrolling on my phone. And I felt like God has been convicting me this week to stop being on your phone so much. I've done better, but the reality is I can do better. And I was just thinking about it in the car. This low-key feels like an addiction, like a phone screen tablet addiction. And it's like, oh, you think it's not that bad because it's not like you're addicted to drugs or alcohol. But it's the same thing, to be honest. Even though you're not ingesting something physically, you're still ingesting something that gets, you know, into your soul. And I felt like when I woke up this morning, I had like a bad dream. And I felt like, you know, all my anxieties and fears kind of manifest into my dreams. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with what I'm watching online. So I have to be extra careful of that because I can be sensitive to that type of stuff. When I go to the gym in the morning, they always have like the news on, which is so funny because I was just saying in my head, like, I feel like they don't really show the old champ. Like, sometimes they'll show like different TV shows and like just regular TV shows, but now it's like all news and stuff like that. And the current climate today, that we're in war, there's a lot of crime going on. They don't really highlight good things. They always just highlight bad stuff. And I tend to be like really sensitive when it comes to that stuff, and I will ingest that stuff emotionally and start to feel sad throughout my day. When I see all this crazy stuff happening, it starts to impact me negatively. And I feel like God was just telling me to stop watching all that stuff because you'll start to absorb that. It's funny because today in church, the main theme was that God is speaking to you, and that how do you hear God's voice. And the number one thing that the pastor said was that will tune out God's voice is distractions and noise. And I was like, ha ha, so funny. Because that's what I felt like God was convicting me on, and basically to dim down the distractions so you can hear God's voice more than you hear the noise. That God wants to tell you things. He wants to tell you, you know, like mysteries and secrets and the unknowns, but you're too busy with your focus on something else, so you can't really hear what God has to say to you that might actually help you in the long run versus whatever else that is that you're watching. He also said that pride, sometimes we feel like we know better than God and we just do our own thing and make our own decisions without his input, and that can get us into a lot of trouble. I've done that firsthand where I think I know what's best, so I'll make my own decisions, but then I end up begging God to get me out the mess that I put myself in when I should have just listened to him in the first place. And then the third thing is just to listen. I often compare my relationship with God as my relationship with my kids, because I feel like it is really parallel. We do call God our Father because he is our Heavenly Father. He's like a dad to us, and he only wants the best for us, but sometimes we don't listen to him. And then it's so funny because the same thing will happen with me and my kids. Like, I'll say, dang, you don't listen to me. Like, you hear what I'm saying, but you're not listening, as in you're not doing what I tell you to do. And it's like, well, you do the same thing with God. He'll tell you to do something, but you don't listen to him. So I find it like kind of ironic in that sense, how the relationships can be parallel. And sometimes, you know, with me doing the blog and the videos and trying to come up with ideas and ebooks and stuff, I can get caught up in the busy work and the performance of things and the efforts, and really leave God in the background rather than doing it with God or taking pause to just relax. You know, everything is that about productivity, but that's kind of the mindset that I have built when it comes to work. You know, especially being a 9-to-5 employee, everything is about numbers and how much work do you do and how fast can you do it, while still maintaining quality if that's even possible. But that's not how it is in God's kingdom. Like, he calls us to take breaks, to back away from things. Sometimes yesterday I knew I should have stopped working on this ebook, and then my daughter was asking me for stuff, so I had to go downstairs, but I kept working, and then all of a sudden, like, my pictures start disappearing off of my ebook. Like, it started looking blank. Like, all my pictures that I uploaded, some of them were coming out blank, and I was like, you know what, I think this is God trying to tell me to like back away from the computer. And lo and behold, I exited out of it. I came back, all my pictures reappeared. So I was like, okay, let me just pull away. He said that God is not interested in your performance, intentions, beliefs, or efforts. He's interested in you and your relationship with him. Yes, like Mary and Martha, you have to discern the difference between do and just be. Yes, God has called you to do, you know, works and whatever. And faith without works is dead, but there is a balance. You're not a busy worker bee. You don't have to, you know, put on 24/7. It's okay to relax and just rest at the feet of Jesus and just listen to what he has to say rather than keep doing. Because all your efforts can go into vain if you're just going in the wrong way without God anyway. So
Keep on moving along, we keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down. We ain't slowing down. We keep on moving along. We keep on.
right now, I'm about to tackle my closet. Who else's closet by the end of the week gets like, it almost looks like an explosion happened. This is how it looks. I got clothes on the floor. I got laundry, clean laundry over there. I got dirty laundry over here. So I need to reorganize it and make it look neat and clean so that my week could be nice and prepped. I'll probably pick out my gym clothes for tomorrow. And then I want to switch out my purse. This is the purse that I'm currently using with this little cute charm. I got this from Amazon. This is like my church bag because I carry my notebook in here to write my sermon notes. So I want to switch this out. And then I have like a smaller purse for my everyday, like running errands type of purse. And then I have a gym bag. So I have 3 different bags that I use. So this is how it's looking like. I could barely walk in here, so we need to get it together. And then I have like a little trash bag that I put on my door handle so I can continuously just dump the trash in here, so it's convenient. If you have a hard time sleeping at night, earplugs are a must, okay? My sister had actually got me some earplugs. She's like, I wear them all the time. Like, the kids be talking, I can't hear them. I wear them while I'm driving. I'm like, girl. This is the brand that she had got me. They're Max earplugs, but these are not the original earplugs that came in here. The original ones are pink and they're smaller. These orange ones, I just, they came like in a Ziploc bag and I didn't really like that, so I just dumped them in this container. But I actually don't like these ones. These are the Amazon brand, trying to be cheap. And they're not, I did not know that earplugs were specified for your ear hole size. When I look at it, I said, oh, it does say for small ears. So I didn't realize that. So these ones are too big for my ears. I can't really squeeze them down all the way to get them to fit, and plus they're not 100% noise cancellation. Like this actual brand itself, I could barely hear anything, and it helps me to fall asleep better because, you know, I go to sleep really early, so I'm like the first one that goes to sleep early in my house. These help for me to fall asleep. Right now for breakfast, I am enjoying me a slice of the bread that I made yesterday with some peanut butter and some honey. And this is exactly how I would eat it as a kid. So it's giving me nostalgia. Honestly, it tastes like French bread. Like, I cannot believe it. My mother-in-law tasted it and my husband's cousin tasted it and they both liked it and they said it was really soft. I cannot believe I made bread for myself and it actually tastes like bread. For the longest time in my head, I think that you just have to rely on the grocery stores. It's my dream to make a garden one day. It's like we've been so like conformed to rely on other people to feed us. God already provides us everything that we need. We could literally grow food in our backyards and make our own food. And I was just so stunned. I don't know if I was expecting like a freak science experiment to come out the oven or something. I'm just looking at the texture of the bread. I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks like actual bread you get from the grocery store. So yeah, I've been looking on TikTok at people who have their own gardens and it seems a little complicated. I'm not gonna lie. yeah, like they have different fertilizer, they have different plants to steer off bugs, which is interesting because a couple of people were mentioning marigolds to steer off bugs, and marigolds are found in the Bible. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they said that. But then it seems as simple as sprouting your own potatoes and putting the potato in the dirt, and all of a sudden more potatoes come out. So I'm just like kind of mind boggled, like, okay, is it hard or is it easy? But I feel like that's like my dream, to like grow my own garden and make everything homemade, from not from scratch maybe, but like homemade at least, like make my own bread, bake my own muffins, which I'm already kind of doing that now. So it's like one step at a time, but that's like to mostly do that. I would love to do that. So I'm pretty much done in here. That didn't take too long actually. It's just about like putting stuff back in its place, because like throughout the week I'll just drop stuff on the floor. I won't put it back where it belongs, and then that's how it gets messy. But I wanted to show you guys, yesterday I had told you I have found some really good stuff at Ross, like chia seeds and oat flour and oatmeal from a brand that I really like. And I was just thinking to myself how I think the YouTube community, I think we do really need more Christian lifestyle bloggers as well, just to show people, you know, our faith and what God is doing in our life, and you know, our relationship. And that might just trigger somebody else's faith to believe that God is all who that he says he is. I don't know, I'm trying not to overthink things too much, so I'm just gonna show you guys. I said that in regards because I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna show you guys this, and then I saw my toner, and I know that I say it a lot for this vlog anyways, that oh, I'll just, you know, think about something, or I'll ask God for something, and then all of a sudden I find it, and then I'm like, okay, am I coming across like materialistic, or like do I think God is a genie? Or that's how I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't come across like I think that God is just gonna give me everything that I want in life, like I just ask for it and it just appears. God is our heavenly Father. If you think of like a dad just wants to give their child the best, right? And for the most part, it's not like he gives you everything that you want. It does please him, like if your child wants like this toy, he's like, okay, I'm gonna get it for you. He doesn't give it to you like straight away. I don't find that I get things straight away. I'll just, you know, pray about it. Oh, you know, this little thing, it'll make me happy if I can find this. And I do end up finding it eventually. If you think about a dad, of course he wants to give stuff to his kids, but then he also sets boundaries and say certain things are not good for you, I'm not gonna give it to you. So like I said, with my screen time, I feel like God was convicting me to stop scrolling on social media so much. It's a balance. I went on that tangent because what I was trying to say was that I needed some toner. My daughter had poured out my toner in the sink, so I'm running low unexpectedly. I still have some, but I'm running low. I went to Ross and I'm like, dang, I wish I could find some toner here so I don't have to make multiple trips or order it online. And I never see toner at Ross. I always see like that micellar water, but I never see toner. Tell me why I found the toner at Ross. And that's what I be talking about. Like, I'll just talk to God in my head, like, please let me find toner at Ross. And I never see toner at Ross, and I found it there. So that's why I went off on that tangent, because I don't want to make it seem like I think like God is a genie. He just gives me everything that I want. But I do pray to him for basically about everything. And like, I would say like 99% of the time, he makes it happen. Or if he doesn't make it happen, it's for a reason. I just say that to maybe to strengthen somebody else's relationship with God. If you think like, oh, God just leaves me in the dust, he doesn't care about me, you know, I've been asking for this certain thing and it doesn't happen. Trust me, there are certain things that I've asked for too that has not happened yet, but it's for a reason. So I just have to trust him with that reasoning and just trust in his perfect timing. But in the meanwhile, still keep going to God, still keep asking him for things that you want and that you need, and you'll probably be pleasantly surprised with what happens. And then I found this Bible Promises for You. I've been into coloring books, like adult coloring books. It's kind of therapeutic. I wanted a Bible theme based one, but the ones that I've seen at Ross before are very detailed, and I don't know if I can do all that. But this doesn't seem like too much details. It seems just right. And I'm gonna show you one that I got. So this is the one that I got from Amazon, Black Woman Coloring Book. This thing, look at this. Somebody come look at this. This is the first page. Look how vibrant this is. All I do is like, I'll have like an image in my head of what I want to do, and I just try to execute it. So does she look like a fairy Wakanda princess? I feel like that's the vibes that it's giving. You know those markers that you be finding like Ross and Burlington, like those alcohol markers? That's all that I use, and I try to like blend it out and use like different colors, like dark colors and light colors together. Okay, and this is they do bleed though, so I think that's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually kind of nice how it bleeds through the page. But this is another one that I made. Isn't she cute? And this is another one. I don't know if I should color the background. The only thing is when I try to do the skin tone, like the skin color, it's hard to blend that. So I don't know. I'm not an artist, so I don't know the technique that goes behind this. I'm gonna show you. Okay, this is another one. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys something. I think artistic abilities run in my family. My brother was a really good artist. My sister told me that he actually got offered by his teacher to go to like some type of art program, but I guess he rejected it due to fear or something. I don't know. But when he passed away, he had like a binder full of his drawings, and I was just going through it, and it reminded me of my son. My son knows how to draw as well, and he's young. We buy him all types of art supplies and stuff. He's been drawing since he was like, what, 4 years old? No, we try to tell him to practice this stuff, but he's caught up on the screens too. That's another story for a different day. But oh, this one's pretty. That's the only thing. I don't like the fact that the colors bleed like this, but I'm gonna have to just work with it. I think this is my favorite one. I like how I did her hair and put in like highlights and stuff. I try to do something unique with these, just so it can stand out. And that's the only ones that I did. I need to get back into this. And this is the doctor lady that I was working on, but I haven't finished it yet. So I did like fire engine hair. I think that's so cute. I feel like, how many of you guys like feel like you know how to do something intrinsically, but you don't practice it? So I feel like I know how to draw, just like in my DNA, but I don't practice drawing. And I think that's one of the things I need to do instead of being on my freaking iPad all day long, is to practice drawing. I have drawing books, I have the pencils, I have the supplies, but it's just sitting there collecting dust. Meanwhile, I'm scrolling on my phone on TikTok all day. What's kind of interesting is that there was this girl, I remember this girl in high school. She was like a freaking artist, and she drew like a lot of anime paintings, and she looked at my hands and she said, "You look like you know how to draw." And I'm like, but I didn't know how to draw. And she was like, "I'm wondering why you can't draw, because your hands look like an artist's hand." And that comment always sticks with me, because it's like, I know I have the ability to do it, but for some reason it's like a block for me to actually do it. But I wanted to show you guys my painting. This was one of the paintings that I made, a paint and sip that I recently went to with my church. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever received this much attention in my life. Everyone kept approaching me with like, "Oh my god," as I was doing the painting. It wasn't even finished yet, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, it looks so nice. Do you do this all the time?" I'm like, no, I don't paint, but I feel like I have the ability to do it, but I need to practice. So that's just a word for you. If you feel like God has given you certain gifts and abilities, please don't waste your years not doing it, because at this point I'm in my mid-30s. You don't want to get older and regret not doing the things that you know you were supposed to do and waste the God-given abilities. I don't want to get into my 50s and be like, "Oh, I wish I would have drew. I wish I would have painted. Who knows where it would have taken me." Or I wish I would have just, you know, read these books to figure out something to do with my life. Don't wait until you get to an old ripe age and feel like you squandered your life. Am I preaching? Why am I preaching? It is Sunday, so I guess I'm preaching. And then I love stationery, okay? I got this cute notepad from Ross. It was only like $4. And it's just, you know, like a stationery you can write lists in. And it's like this cream yellow paper. I love creamy yellow paper instead of the like stark white paper, because it's too harsh on your eyes. I already have a hard time enough seeing as it is. I honestly feel like that's why I have astigmatism, because first of all, I'm on the computer for work for years. You know what I'm saying? I've been working for years. I don't want to say decades, but I've been on the screen for work for many years. And then after work, I'm on the screen. So I feel like that's why my vision is like getting worse, but that's a different story. And then I got this desk devotional, you know, the calendar flip desk one. I like to buy a new one every once in a while because I do use them. And yeah, that was basically my Ross haul, and now I'm about to put up my laundry that's been sitting for a while. But the good thing is everything is already folded, so I just literally have to put, now y'all looking at my bra, put it in its place, and I'll just hang up whatever I have to hang up. So my daughter was in my basket because a lot of this stuff is like unfolded. Because I specifically remember her wearing this shirt and walking around pretending like she was me. I'm very much into organizing and trying to make my space as efficient and functional as possible so that I can decrease the amount of time and energy that I'm wasting trying to get myself together in the morning or getting ready for work. So the way I like to organize my clothes, like my lounge clothes or pajamas or whatever, I keep them in bins, which I'm going to show you in a second. But I also like to pair the outfits together, if that makes sense. So like if I'm wearing these pants, I'll just find a shirt to go with the pants and then put it in my bin. So same thing for this. I'll just, you know, pair the clothes together instead of just throwing them inside of a container and then just trying to figure out, okay, what shirt and pants am I gonna wear? I just like to pair them together because my lounge clothes, most of them are not sets, so I just find something to pair together. Down here is just where I keep all my loungewear clothes instead of like a dresser or a drawer or whatever. I just put them in these containers, and then that way they're just easy for me to just to grab. And then for like my regular clothes, I just hang them up in hangers. And what I do, I stack. These are like velvet hangers with hooks on them. I think I got them from Amazon. You can find them at like Ross and Burlington. Instead of putting them each on the rod, I try to maximize the space and put it as a 2-in-1. And then I hang it up like this. Is it just me, or is like everything so hard to open? Like I try to open jars of like pickles, or like the other day when I was trying to open the yeast, the jar was so hard to open. And I was just telling my husband, like, they don't make this stuff women friendly. I mean, I understand it has to be sealed properly, but like, why is this stuff so hard to open? But then again, I'm also in my luteal phase, and they say that you're weaker in your luteal phase. I don't know, child, but it be getting me so mad when I can't open up a bottle of juice for my kids. I'm like, what if I was single and I was, you know, by myself with my kids and I can't open up something? I'm sorry, y'all. That was a rant. I tend to get really mean before my cycle, and my cycle has not come yet. So I'm a little. My husband was looking at me yesterday like, "Are you okay?" And then he came up to me, he was like, "Oh, I just looked at my calendar and I realized what time of the month it is. So I see why you acted like that." Anyways, make sure your partner knows when your cycle is coming, and let them know that during your little phase
you might not be yourself.
When I was in the office, I'm pretty sure I told you guys that I would iron my clothes for the entire week. We would only go in like 3 days a week, but I would do it in one day because I didn't want to keep doing it each day in the morning and try to figure out what to wear. You know how we are. We try to figure out what to wear. That takes 20 minutes, and then we gotta iron, we gotta take a shower, we gotta get ready. No, I would literally pick out everything down to my jewelry, my hair accessory, my shoes, my socks, my whatever cardigan I was gonna wear. I would pick out everything because I want to be out the door and not waste time. So that's how I maximize time, y'all. Like, because my brain gets overwhelmed so easily with like stuff and clutter, I try to figure out ways to organize things and to put things in its place.
Yeah. No, we ain't slowing it down. Let's go.
We ain't slowing down, baby, come and show me how. Gotta do it right now, you know you gotta hold me down. Can I let the moment pass? Good things, they never last. Pull up in a whip, you know I had to hit the gas. Yeah, that's premium.
I love to get my organizational bins from Dollar Tree, and I like to keep like my recording equipment in this bin as well, just to keep everything organized so I'm not frustrated always looking for something. I know where everything is and is in its place. And I'm sorry. And keep like all my plastic bags in there and just pull them out as I need them. You gonna put it in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. And it looks like I put it on crooked, but whatever. I'm going to do a little bit of pre-planning for the week. I like to plan out my week on Sunday so that when I go into work and for the rest of the week, I know, like, I have a gist of what I'm doing or any events that's going on. I like to gather my planner. This planner, this is how it looks like. It's a spiral notebook planner. It has Proverbs 3:5, trust in the Lord with all your heart. I got this from Burlington for only $8. And y'all, finding the perfect planner is kind of hard for me because I am very picky. I'm going to use blue. I pick out a washi tape to match. Like I said, I love Happy Planner. I have like all my events and stuff that's going on. This is my spread for this week. Just something simple but cute. What? Twice a month, I like to do a digital detox, meaning no social media, no Pinterest, no Instagram, no TikTok, no scrolling. So I made note of that in my planner, and I just like to take time to just clear my mind and declutter my mind. Sometimes I'll declutter my space even and get rid of like old things that I no longer use and either like donate them or throw them away. So that's one thing I put on my calendar for twice a month. I like to keep my bags like in the corner of my closet so I can just grab and go, so that I'm not struggling trying to look for my keys. My package just came in for these leggings. This is the third legging that I bought. I told you guys I brought the black ones, the brown ones, and these are the pink ones. These are super cute actually.